Hi everyone, welcome to DIY Ideas. So today I'll show you how to do a really cool baby blanket or a regular blanket. I'm gonna do a baby size, but you can of course adjust this to your own needs and wishes. So today's project is gonna be C2C, which means corner to corner technique. So we are going to do this out of, or so to say, as one piece. And yeah, it's not difficult, it's easy for beginners, and if you want to see how you can do it yourself, stay tuned. So first we're going to do a little demo. So I did a mini version of it to test it, and that's what you can see in this little piece over here. So in pink here, but we won't be using this color in our big blanket. So I chose different colors. I just did this as a test to see how big each box needs to be. So when I finished, I counted 4 on every side, so it has 4 on each. And that's how I got the 10 centimeters, so that's what I wanted, 10 times 10, to make the calculations of my final size easier. So I'm doing a baby size, so that's 70 centimeters in the width and 90 centimeters in its height. Of course, if you're looking for something bigger or even something smaller, feel free to do as you please and as your wishes are. Here is my plan. So you see the order of my colors. Of course, here I have some new ones, so not the ones in the picture. So 2 multicolored spools and the one on the bottom are not in the draft I did here. So I just marked this to make this easier to follow throughout the process. So as I said, we have 7 boxes or 70 centimeters times 90 centimeters, which is 9 boxes. And that's how we get 63 boxes total. And each is 10 times 10. And I wanted to weigh my test piece, so the pink one, to see how heavy it is. And it's 6 to 7 grams. And then I counted the squares to see how much material, or wool in this case, I would need, and that I can plan before I get started. So I have here 12 squares or boxes with 7 grams, so I get 84 grams of wool. So I rounded that to about 100 grams, so 2 spools if the spools are 50 grams. And the same goes for all of the other colors that we have here. So it is about the same for each color, but you can do different patterns, and in that case make sure you count them right and get the right numbers. You can do halves in one color, thirds, even flower patterns, but in that case your numbers are going to be different. So make sure to remember that and to calculate for your own project. So double check in the end. And when you do that and when you're sure, then we can get started. So I have my 5 colors, my 6mm needle, and the wool is Baby Smile Bravo Baby 185 for 3 to 3.5mm needles. And as I said, since I'm working 2 spools simultaneously, I'll do 6mm needles. And that's what I need for today. I have 50 grams in here for each spool. So this is our material, and we're ready to get started. So starting here with the first square, I'll start with my peach colored wool, and since I said that I will do it corner to corner, I'll use trebles. So today I'll show you how to do this, but if you find it a bit too fast, you can take a look at some basics videos on the channel, and then it might be a bit easier to follow. If you're already experienced, then you can go straight ahead. So yeah, feel free to check that out as well. So let's start with 6 chains. So 3 here, and the next 3 are for the height. So take the thread around the needle and go into the 4th chain from the back and do your first treble there. And after that, you have 2 more trebles into the following chains. And that's how I finish my first sections for my square. So let's now do 6 chains again. Turn and repeat. 4th chain gets a treble, and then the following 2 chains also get a treble. And last treble here. So now we need to connect these with a slip stitch like this. Three chains for the height, and now we will go around these chains and do again 3 trebles. You see the result super fast. So you see here the corner that you started out of, and then we just keep going up. So now we will start with the next row, and we will need 3 more sections or mini boxes. So the rows keep increasing for as long as you like them to be, and you always do the 6 chains at the beginning. So turn and then again do the first box. Connect and then do 3 for the height and go around the chains for the next box. Connect here too, and around the chains. And this section is also done. So now the 4th row will get 4 boxes, and that's going to be the last row where I do additions. So from that point, it's going to be reducing to the diagonal corner. Six chains and turn. Connect and continue to the end. Now let's do this in reverse, so back. Now we are lessening to get a square and the last corner. So now I'm not starting with 6 chains but doing slip stitches onto the top, so that's super easy. Just go through and take the thread through. And that's how you go over from the corner to the other side. Now 3 chains and simply go over here and connect. Now here I do another slip stitch. Turn, and usually I do this section as well, but now I'll leave it since we would get 5 boxes in height and that's not exactly what we want. So we're supposed to do the 3, the 2, and then 1 to finish this box. And so that we can do that, let's turn it and go again to the side. Three chains and then do 3 trebles, just like before. Slip stitch and 3 trebles. Again, a slip stitch, and now I'm here, done with these. So turn and again continue with slip stitches till you get where you want to be. So we are missing just 1 box, so 3 chains and 3 trebles and a slip stitch. So here we are, 4 times 4 or 10 centimeters times 10 centimeters. So I cut the thread off and pull it out. This will stay as it is, and now I'll continue with the second color. So I decided to do the dotted blue as my next one. So I'll start here from this side that is connected to the beginning thread. So always the next corner, and you can recognize it by the trebles around the chains. And then it's supposed to look to the right or downwards depending on where your beginning thread is. So always on the left side if your beginning is on the right side. And that's basically it. You just start from the opposite from where you began. So let's start. Six chains. And I'll continue just as we did so far, so 3 trebles to form our mini box. Now we need to connect our box, so let's turn it around, and here we can do a slip stitch between the first 2 boxes. Again, 3 chains for the height, that should be parallel to this here, so 3 chains and then connect with a slip stitch. So you get something like this, always following the boxes from the last section. So now again, do 3 chains and turn, do 3 trebles, and for that go around these slip stitches. Connect here again with a slip stitch and do 3 for the height and 3 trebles then. Six chains, turn and continue. Slip stitch and 3 for the height and 3 trebles. You see how I'm in this 3-piece structure, the diagonal one, so let's continue. 3 chains and 3 trebles. Connect here between the 2 packs of the first square. So you see what it looks like, and you can notice how it keeps changing how the packs are directed. So you see the trebles pointing downward and to the side, and then downward and so on. So this is gonna stay like that pretty much throughout the whole blanket. Here I again have chains that I will bridge over with to the other ends and then connect them with a slip stitch. Three for the height, turn and go around the chains. Then here, now here we finished this side, as you can see. So I have the width or length, well, it doesn't really matter since it's the same. So now I'll finish the square just like before. We are not increasing the size, just finishing it. Then I'll show you the beginning. Slip stitch and 3 for the height. Three trebles, and then we again get the 4 on this side. So now turn it and continue here in slip stitches. Three for the height, and we will end the square the same way as the first one. You can already kind of see the diagonal here. Square number 2 is done, so you see how this is connected. Here the beginning, now we move on to the left. Now I have 5 more squares to do in the first row. Now this is going to get easier with the orientation since it's obvious which corner we are starting from. So let's get right to it. I'm starting my multicolored corner the same way. This square in these lovely colors, I'll do the same way as the blue one we just did. And that's how we are gonna do all of the squares in this row, and we are gonna follow the color plan as we had it on here. And then I'll show you what I have and what it looks like. So the first 7 squares or boxes are done, so you see how they are kind of mirrored. So we started with the nice peachy color here, then we had the blue and the multicolored one and the greenish box in the middle. So now I'll do the second row and I'll show you what I have on my plan. So you can see it here on the bottom. So basically what we want to do is that Here on the bottom, the outer color is kind of disappearing, so the peachy shade, and then we continue with the second one, so the blue one. Both threads are here, and now we start at our first box. So watch the beginning here, the beginning thread, our very first start. So I'm going up and I'm doing a little slip stitch here into the next corner, and then I'm again starting with 3 chains. We are doing this section again, and we are connecting with a slip stitch. Then we do 3 for the height and turn. Go back, and I can even begin with the beginning thread so I don't have to weave it in later. As always, 3 trebles. And now we are done with the first pack, 6 for the height, and then we can start the same way as we always did till we finish the box. I always start here where I have the 3 chains. The 3 chains that we did here are going to be done as 3 trebles, and then we connect and just continue. Here you can see by the next box that we also started with 3 chains, so here is the place where I start. But let's finish this. So you see here I did the whole first row and the first box out of the second row, which you can see here, as well as the colors forming a pattern slowly. And now comes the colorful section here on top. And for that I already prepared my 2 threads, and I'll start. Here in the corner, I'll pull it in and I'll start with chains again. So the beginnings are always going to be with the chains connected by a slip stitch. Turn and go back in trebles. Connect with a slip stitch. Here is the first section that will connect these 2 boxes, the big ones. Three chains. Here I again have the section with 3 chains. Three for the height, turn and go back. Connect with a slip stitch, 3 for the height, and the 3 chains we need to do as well. Again, connect with a slip stitch. Again, chains that we bridge over. 3 for the height and turn again and go back. Slip stitch, 3 for the height, slip stitch, and then you see the little corner, the 2-element row, 3, and then finally comes the row with 4 mini boxes. Bridge over the chains, 3 for the height and go back. So we have 4 and we are on the outside now, slip stitches are following. And then we go back and finish the first box. Here is the first finished box that has both sides connected to other boxes. So as you see, the connecting points are always with the 3 chains and the slip stitches, of course, so you see them overall on both sides same way, and the box itself is as usual as we always did it so far. So let's check out our progress. You see the first row nicely done all the way to the end, including the 2 little boxes of our second row up here. And then we start again with this corner here with the greenish color that's gonna go upwards, and it's the same method, so nothing new. Just like we did the second box a minute ago, and this is how it's going to be with all of the other boxes from now on, and I'm just going to do that now and show you the finished blanket then. So here we are, 63 boxes later. I had to fold it so that I can show you the whole thing. So this time we have a lot to weave in, so all of these threads need to be hidden. So we still have a little bit of work to do, but the blanket itself is done. So you see how big this is? So this is 70 times a bit over 90 centimeters. I think it's 92 or 93. So it is a bit stretchy, but you can of course do it bigger or smaller or square shaped in different patterns, different colors. So you could do, as I mentioned, the flower pattern, or you could do just one color, maybe half in one color, half in the other, in thirds. You can do pretty much whatever you want and how you like it. Just make sure you choose some colors that fit nicely or that you like. So it's a highly customizable blanket this time. It's great for beginners. My personal pattern has this kind of diagonal lines, but yeah, feel free to do whatever you like. So I hope you guys enjoyed the project. Let me know what you think in the comment section. If you're a beginner, I'd love to hear how difficult this was for you, or maybe how easy this was for you. If you have any wishes for future projects, feel free to post those as well. I always like to get my inspiration from others too. So if you guys had fun, feel free to shoot us a thumbs up, and you can also subscribe to our channel and that way stay notified with every new post that we post, and you can also check out our older videos if you're looking for some extra inspiration. So thanks for watching DIY Ideas. I'll see you in our next project. Until then, have a wonderful day. Bye!